Emperor of mankind.
But we didn't say anything about
Mechanicus.
Bitcoin or crypto or.
He's over that, dude.
Yeah.
He's so fucking over that.
Oh, I love it.
You're over it though.
I'm not over it.
I haven't heard it. When was the last time we talked about it?
It's coming.
2023.
Blockchain is coming. It's just not ready.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know how like you still loved your daughter that was not yet born for like the first 5 months, but you couldn't talk about her all that much because like she was still gestating, right? But like if somebody called you out on like, oh, you don't even love her, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I'm a father. That's an actually existing child that I have. She's just not here yet.
I do want to be a father of a blockchain someday.
Yeah.
I was actually going to talk to you about that tonight.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah, we found this like nice AI girl that you could totally impregnate and have a blockchain baby with.
I was thinking it.
No, like totally digital.
I was
So, like,
thinking it could go hand in hand with as. Yeah.
As
So I
the
want to talk
ledger.
to you about it.
As the ledger, yes.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, you already have an idea of what I'm thinking
Yeah.
about. All right, perfect.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patch Notes Season 4, Episode 5. It is the draft week in Green Bay, Wisconsin,
Holy
which means,
balls.
yes, the NFL is coming to Green Bay for this week. We are the most important city
For
in
NFL
sports.
parking, please use Mobile Pass.
What is that?
For NFL parking, please use NFL Mobile Pass.
Is that a meme because you hear it a lot? Is it like everywhere?
It's because of all the signs on the highway. They're just
I did see
flash.
one of those. I did see one of those.
Oh, really? Oh, I see like all
Yeah.
the different
I
ways
haven't
they
been
have
I
driving
it.
thought
around
he was
lately.
trying to tap into the algorithm.
I was gonna start posting on Facebook just in all caps. For NFL parking, please use Mobile Pass.
So our parking monitor today, that's Vindy, and your two bemused audience members are Wolf Clock over here and Spinozone right here in the middle. We have been doing some gaming.
We have.
Shocker.
Imagine.
Yeah, I saw you playing RuneScape, Dragonwilds, and RuneScape.
You gotta add that Dragonwilds in there.
Yes, I did learn this because my friends who play RuneScape earlier, I was like, hey, my friend's playing RuneScape. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, RuneScape Dragonwilds. And they're like, oh. they're the
He was cool
OG.
for such a short amount of time.
Oh, well, I don't think cool is the right word for it in either.
Well, I don't know how many I don't know how many OG old school RuneScapers would think that they're being cool. I'm
Yeah, none of them.
More
None of
just
them
really
think
sad with their lives.
I mean, they're generally pretty sad.
yeah. I mean, everyone has a drug.
That's true. Drugscape. It really is.
Yeah, I learned that RuneScape is just run, escape, put together. I did not know that until recently.
Wait, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. It
Wow.
is. The warning was in there in the beginning. But hey, Dragonwilds does not have a cool
Dragonwilds. Yeah,
thing
let's
like
just
that.
call it Dragonwilds because it really isn't RuneScape.
Got
Same engine though, I'm assuming.
No, actually, this
Wow,
is
it really isn't RuneScape.
on
Okay.
Unreal 5 third-person survival.
This isn't
game.
RuneScape.
It's not, but it's in RuneScape's world.
Oh,
So what happened?
There's lore to RuneScape.
Oh god, dude, it's one of the biggest MMOs.
I know that, but I don't know how
Of
much.
course there's lore.
Is there a
That's-
single book that's been published based on?
Oh, I don't know actually. I'm
Yeah,
sure
then-
there is.
I'm not sure if I'll count. I'm not sure if I can count it if there isn't at least a book published.
Yeah, there's got to be.
I think that is a unrealistic standard for like there
I
to be lore.
apologize. I apologize. Hang on. I want to correct my statement. I agree with you. For the type of lore, okay, that means it's just at the bottom tier then.
It's a bottom tier lore.
It is a fat bottomed girl of a tier list. Most games with lore do not have
Like,
books
out
written
of
about
all
them,
the-
but
Alright.
the kinds you admire do.
Yes.
like Warhammer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Out of
I don't
all
read
the
these books.
fans.
I just appreciate them.
You just
being
like
there.
that they exist, so
Yes.
it gives mystique to your.
To my YouTube videos that are 10 minutes about the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
continue for us. I apologize.
Out of all the MMO friends that I have, the RuneScape friends talk about the lore the least. So I'm going to assume,
Yeah.
off
That
of
it's not
my sample size, that the RuneScape lore is not top tier.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are a colonizer essentially.
Well, that's not 2025.
No, it wasn't 2024, but it is but kind of 2025.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
25,
That's
It's
right.
coming back.
yeah.
Something
The new
about
colonialism.
hotels in the Middle East. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
So, but it's like if you've played Valheim, if you've played Enshrouded, any of these survival build crafty games, it's that category. The company that ended up buying Jagex, I think, bought them just for the IP so that they could make this survival game a banger, right? Or at least have the IP clout to get the survival players.
Gotcha.
Is it a cynical ploy to just think that there are a whole bunch of people who are still in RuneScape? They have not moved on to something in all of these years.
Yeah.
Eventually, they must. Let's be the thing they move on to.
Yes.
I think it's really interesting how many guys I see on Discord with like RuneScape, and I see them on it, but I know they play like so many other games. I think that's just like their idle game.
It is. It's their idle game.
You know, it's their idle
One of
game.
my
It's just the
cousins-
client's always open, you know?
One
It's a
of my-
cozy game.
Yeah.
One of my cousins plays 2 accounts at the same time
Right.
while he's watching something.
Right.
I suppose if you're just mining runes, you know,
Right.
there aren't too.
Right. Yeah. He finally has a character that's like maxed out in combat and stuff, and most of like the resource gathering and stuff. And it's like he's played it for 20
Wonder
years.
what would happen if we could put these guys into EVE Online. How many millionaires we could make.
It's true.
I mean, he's made quite a bit of money in it.
Wow. Yeah.
Because you can sell
You can
the
sell
gold
stuff.
and the stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
trade it for real money.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot
It's
of like
not
third
legal,
worlders,
but
like
you can
do it.
yeah, like a lot of Latin American, South American people have just like
I think
made money doing
you're
that.
confusing that more with like micro Asia. Like,
there was a podcast where it was like Latin
Yeah.
America.
oh, was
Asia,
it?
Brazil.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember we were
Latin
talking about
America,
that.
yeah.
I mean, like
Asia.
Man, season 1 was full
Third
of
world's a big
banger
place.
episodes of like insane topics. We should definitely probably revisit those topics.
absolutely.
Because this is what now, almost 2 years later.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't even tried to dive into new topics, though, really.
I guess not.
This is the
We've
first time
just
we've
been
had a
talking
discussion
about-
topic.
We've
in a
just
while,
been
yeah.
talking about games.
I know,
And which
I
is
know.
fine. I mean,
Yeah, let's
it's
talk
a little,
about.
a little.
podcast.
structure
Oh
goes a
yeah,
long
wait.
way.
I'm so sorry. We don't have marathon on this piece of paper.
Dude, we got.
Why do we? Please write that right here.
Marathon.
I want to. I mean, that's our next topic after you're done talking about RuneScape.
the battle.
'Cause
Of
I wanna talk
Marathon.
about
Dragon
that.
Wilds. So yeah, going back into Dragon Wilds, it's alpha. It feels early alpha, but for an alpha, it's pretty bodied, right? It's got. I've already explored 5 biomes, so for survival gamers out there that are listening on this, they're like, "Oh shit, 5 biomes like already in the access." That's like Valheim started with 5, but I haven't even explored them all yet. So I have more biomes to go into. Scaling, it feels good. Like the difficulty for each biome scaling feels really good. Combat, it's an Unreal 5 game, so combat feels great. It actually does. It's the best survival combat that I've played. It's not too overcomplicated. They're not trying to be like an action game or anything, but the combat is, for an action gamer, it's satisfying. And I like the way that the crafting and the workstations scale. I've been loving that. There's instances like where the dragon will attack you, or these war parties will attack you. So war parties of goblins, you have to defend yourself. And if you're like trying to hide in a building, they'll like break down the building to get at you and stuff. Like
Destructible environment or
well, so
like pseudo.
this is what I don't like about it. The environment that's pre-made isn't destructible, but everything you make is destructible. But there are like, there's like a civilization that tried colonizing it at first before like you arrived, and that civilization
Like the French,
kind of and they fell to the dragon.
as the French typically
So the
did.
dragon and the dragon has pretty much like made all of the enemies on the island its minions, so the goblins and like these orc like elves.
Forrest, is the dragon an allegory for revolution? Do they all just follow the dragon there? Sorry,
I like it.
I had to get that out.
So these
So did the peasants.
runes, these ruins that are on the island or whatever, you can build around them and stuff, but you can't break them down for materials, and
interesting.
the
Yeah.
goblins can't do anything. Like so.
Time
like,
to send the developers death threats. You know what I mean?
well,
It's an alpha, right? It's an alpha. Game development takes time.
I don't think it's something that they're gonna change though. I don't know if like it matters that much.
Dox
it
them.
just
Dox them.
Jagex more like Jag off.
well. I mean, it irritated me, but not to the point where I didn't want to play it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel that.
So it feels good. I can't wait to play it again this weekend. No dedicated servers yet, though, so I can't spin up a server for the Discord right now.
Cringe.
So we're all playing in each other's worlds. We're kind of like taking turns. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to get you up to this dungeon, and then we'll get me up to this dungeon. And,
Cool.
and then we get to loot more and more, too, because progression with your character stays on your character. And all the inventory, too, on your character you can bring over.
Yeah, nice.
So anything that has to do with your character and skills and inventory is persistent.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to talk about with video games. All right, here we go. One, I lost 3 hours of my last Wednesday playing Gran Turismo, my first Gran Turismo.
Did you get a wheel then?
No, I just playing it with controller, which is insane on the PS5 with the synth,
adaptive triggers.
the adaptive triggers. Have you used these yet?
No,
beginning,
not at all.
They're cracked.
I told
Really?
you that.
ABS triggers
So
on
do you
them.
even feel the need to get a wheel, or do you just?
I
like
will
the-
definitely get
Okay,
a wheel
okay.
in the future.
God of War feels
But-
even Call of Duty.
Eh,
has
I actually
feel
wasn't liking it on God
really?
of War.
Really?
Nah. And I didn't like it on the shooter. I forget which shooter I played. I didn't like it as a shooter.
Call of Duty actually does the best, which like frustrates me.
Yeah, I could try it out, but dude, like feeling the ABS and the rumble strips, that feedback was cracked.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was insane. And it
There are
does not
pedals
replace a
that'll do
wheel or any of that.
Yeah, of course.
But it makes the jump, it makes the gap between wheel and just normal controller not
little more
as
palatable.
severe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so impressed, man.
Yeah.
So
Does
impressed.
that do gyro steering at all with the controller?
You can. Yeah, it's not very good.
Oh, you tried it?
Yeah, it's not very good.
Okay.
But just doing the triggers and all that, man, felt great. I literally, Krista came in. I'm like, why are you getting in bed? I looked. It was 7:45, and we normally like hop in bed and watch TV at 8.
Yeah.
Dude, I had no idea. I'd spent 3 hours running time trials and getting licenses.
Yeah. Really?
I had,
Huh?
I was blown away.
You know, there's a guy on YouTube, of course, that 3D printed a wheel to turn your controller into like an RC wheel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that you could play Gran Turismo and Forza.
like an RC car.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that
That's
looks like
funny.
it feels pretty good.
huh.
If you don't want to do a wheel, you probably
Yeah.
have Hot Fist printed for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent almost 45 minutes just on one license. Like trying to get one license, but it's fun. I almost kind of felt like I was speedrunning. I've never speedrun a game before.
Oh, nice.
But just, because that's what that is essentially. And holy crap. And then I look at like the world record holders because you can just load their ghosts in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, there is no way, dude. These guys are so
They're
cracked.
professionals.
They devote a lot of time to
And
that.
they're definitely not using a controller.
Yeah, right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was super fun. I didn't play anything else in the last 2 weeks on the console. Just that 3-hour session of my first Gran Turismo. It really kind of sucks that Sony doesn't actually have the newest Gran Turismo as part of the PlayStation Plus package. You feel like that's their. I get it. Like you're gonna buy that game because I think that's what it is.
That's what it is.
They're so confident it's just gonna sell like crazy. There isn't a reason to put it on there.
Right.
And I don't think it has in-app purchases. I'm not sure if
Gran
it.
Turismo?
Yeah, I think
you
it
can buy
only has
cars.
DLC, right?
Well, I mean, that is the same thing.
Oh,
isn't
I'm
it?
sorry. Like I don't think you can buy like skins for your cars in there. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yes.
So because if they had
Well,
skins, I could see
Forza
them
does
putting
it for
it.
free. You
Oh.
do all your skins. There's community made. There's a little editor. In
Oh,
it. I don't
interesting.
know what Gran Turismo
Yeah.
does, but Forza's coming to PlayStation. Did you know that?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's Phil. Phil's doing that.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's pretty sick.
Now you can get a wheel and have everything.
And I think it's Codemasters is doing the conversion,
oh, nice.
and they are very good.
Yeah,
at
I
doing
love
those.
grid.
Yep.
Grid games,
Yep.
dirt.
Yep. I think that it's either
They're even
Codemasters.
influencing the new Need for Speed games, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Because AI or EA bought them.
It's either Codemasters or another company that specializes that has like a pretty big history in driving games and has more recently specialized in porting games.
Okay.
And so like because I was listening to Digital Foundry and they're like very like they were very optimistic about the dev doing the Forza to Sony transition.
Very cool.
So I mean they're both AMD.
Yeah.
They're both
right.
AMD CPUs and AMD GPUs. I don't see how this is going to be that big of a
They're
deal.
probably the same architecture too, I would imagine.
No, they're not the same architecture.
really?
No. But I mean, them being on the same platform is definitely a bust. So,
Right.
I'm going to talk about the two big things. I guess we'll talk about
Are those games you played?
not games I've played.
Then we got to finish the category first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You've
that's
been
right.
playing
Yeah.
Spin.
So
Yeah.
I this is going to be the least
Here,
amount of TFT
you keep
in
talking,
a
I'm just
long.
going to go grab another drink.
Yep, least amount of TFT I've talked about in a long time.
Oh, you have been playing.
I played a little bit like over a week ago because Golden Ox got buffed, and that was the one comp I was trying to make work really hard.
Yeah.
I was doing very poorly. Then it got buffed, and I had some insane games. But it's a first or eighth simulator. Like if you get it online early enough, easy first because you are generating so much gold and so many stacks. Like the way Golden Ox works, we talked about it last time. But like you have these economic breakpoints where you spend a certain amount of gold on either leveling up or re-rolling each turn, and then everybody on your team gets damage amped. And at 2, 4, and 6 Golden Ox, you have increasing chances of getting gold whenever your units kill somebody.
Yeah.
If you're getting 6 Golden Ox, you also have a chance of getting a component. So if you've been spending enough gold over the course of the game and you're not dead yet, then like there's a 7% chance every kill you get like pumps out a component. 7%, which is like kind of nuts.
Yeah.
The only way in, and I was playing with a friend. I didn't end up getting an easy Golden Ox start. He did, and he's been playing for a long time. He consistently ranks higher than I do, and he's just like, this is busted. I've been playing this since set 2, and there has never felt something like this that's been this busted.
Crazy.
That is if you get on like the first track. If you're trying to go it and you don't get the units soon enough, because there's only 1 cost, 1 2 cost, 1 3 cost, and then 2 4 costs and a 5. If you don't get that Aphelios or the Annie, the 4 costs early, then you're just going to be stuck at 3 or lower, and you're just not going to get your stuff online. But when you do, it's great. So there's a 6 run like layout where there's a 6 game run I had where it was like 8th, 1st, 8th, 1st. Like it was just 6 away. So I was playing that. I did play some TFT. Golden Ox was fun as hell. But then I found Blueprints.
Yeah.
And Blueprints
Before you go
yeah,
into Blueprints,
yeah,
can
yeah.
we talk about just like what like out of nowhere all these games are coming out right now that just
Yes.
completely stole my attention from TFT. Like I
Yep.
can't boot up a game of TFT right now. Like it's impossible.
It is
Easy for me because I don't have a GPU to play anything.
You don't have a GPU?
I have a 1660, bro.
Oh, so you're stuck using your TFT. You're saying.
I literally can't play anything else besides Age of Empires and TFT.
Well, you've got a PlayStation.
You played
5.
I
solo
forgot to
queue
mention
League
though.
today.
Yeah, I told you that's the first game in like 2 weeks. It's all League of Legends client.
Yeah,
Come on,
You know
bro.
what? That's beautiful though. I love it that you're a console gamer right now because you're gonna get so much like
We'll see.
actual gaming in.
Yeah.
Like not that
You're not gonna
fucking-
use-
Oh well, just fake games.
You're not-
TFT and League of Legends.
You're not going to use the 1660 excuse to not play Valorant with us, are you?
That's
Actually,
gonna be pretty hard to do.
no, I can run Valorant, no
Can you?
problem. On
What?
a 1660.
120?
The problem is the computer I'm using right now does not have TPM.
What's that?
Turner classic movies.
I can't run
The
I can't run
anti-cheat.
Vanguard.
Dang, insane.
Rough.
'Cause
Oh,
the
wait,
motherboard.
Wait, yeah, I can because I'm playing League of Legends.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same anti-cheat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
now.
What am I
Yeah.
thinking? Holy
Thank
crap!
God. We
Hey,
got him
brain
locked
lag.
in.
It's okay, you
We
weren't
got him
thinking.
locked in.
I'll install it.
Blueprints.
Blueprints. Without exaggeration, this is the second most important game of my adulthood.
Wow.
I am like
First being?
Disco Elysium.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
if I
right,
play
that's right.
if I play enough of this, it might break.
This game is crazy, well designed.
You've played?
It
I watched him play it,
Okay.
and even though it's not my game, I probably I'm not even joking. I literally watched you for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He explained like the basic core principle to me, and I would say it's probably an 8 out of 10.
And it happened kind of fast.
Core principle to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Have you heard of this game at all?
No.
It is fundamentally a puzzle game, but it is a puzzle game with roguelike elements.
Yeah.
That is, you are Simon Jones. Simon, I think his middle name is middle initials P. Simon P. Jones, and you have an uncle who has just died, and you are in his will. You get this very grand house. But the only way you inherit this house is if you find room 46.
Oh.
It is not just a matter of opening all of the doors of the house, no, because you find out very soon that the way the house works, you have a floor plan with a 5 wide by 9 deep grid, and there are only 2 rooms that you see when you first go in. There's
What's
the
9 times
entrance hall,
5?
45.
45, and you're looking for room 46,
46.
right? So there's no spot on the grid for room 46. There are only 2 consistent points for a while. You will
Who
eventually.
develops this?
It is Raw Fury. It's a game that's been like in production for something like 8 years. I haven't heard of the guy who made it. It's Tonda Roos or
Borderlands
Tonda Ross.
graphics.
It looks like Borderlands graphics, like the way like some of the edges look like drawing lines. But
that
the only
sounds shady.
It's
the
cool.
only 2 fixed positions in your house are the entrance hall and something called the antechamber, which
Antechamber.
yep, it's like really far into the house, in the middle of the 9th rank. And there's a bit of mystery until you actually get there for the first time.
Okay.
And then when you do get there for the first time, like the doors don't open, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like it looks like it's supposed to have open doors. But in the entrance hall, there are 3 doors, and whenever you go to a door,
Wait, can I back up here
Yeah,
for a second?
yeah.
Because when I'm thinking of the grid, I'm thinking of like 9 stories.
oh,
This
not
is
like
all
yep,
laid
all
out.
laid
It's a
out. Yep, like
grid.
9 deep.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So it's a ranch style with 45
Exactly,
rooms
exactly,
that are
exactly,
grid style.
exactly.
Okay.
When you approach a door, you are given a choice of 3 room plans to draft. That means of the 3 choices that are in front of you, so like an early pick is like a walk-in closet, a bedroom, or a pantry. Those 3 are presented to you, and they are at like fixed amount of doors and fixed angles. So like the closet, it has 1 entrance in, doesn't have extra doors. The pantry is always an L shape. You go in, and then there's a door to the right or a door to the left. Whenever you are opening a door, you are presented these 3 options. There are some ways for you to be able to rotate them or redraft them later, depending on how far you are in, and like if you get these little ivory dice, which sometimes spawn in chests you can open. But the whole game is about figuring out how to set up your floor plan when you're drafting your rooms so that you're not blocking yourself off. Because if the first 3 rooms you do are like all like a closet and a shop and a bedroom without a second door, then you're screwed. You can't go any
You're
further.
making. Do you mind real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, it's first person. You're walking around,
And you decide the next room.
but before you open the door, so it's almost like a Narnia closet situation.
Right.
Whereas like instead of picking the winter one, maybe I want to go to the summer.
Right.
But maybe the winter one, I have a key to something, a frozen key that only works in winter areas.
Right.
So I don't want to necessarily pick the summer one. Maybe I'll pick the fall one because for some reason fall becomes before winter. So maybe I can find out a reason why I would need to go in the fall room. Okay, and that's what he means by like, and I haven't even played this game, so I think this is a decent analogy. Essentially, like you don't want to like make too many rooms that will heat. So you got to think about
Right.
the options that are given before you,
Yeah.
and then you can walk back into other
Well, and
rooms.
Yes.
the fact that it's a roguelike
Crazy.
is making it so that obviously you're not going to find room
Right.
46 in your
You
first run,
only
right?
have so many steps.
But you start as you keep going with each iteration, you find out the more type of rooms that are
Yes,
available.
exactly.
And I would imagine
And the
what
puzzles
type
are
of
crazy.
rooms generally link with certain rooms.
Yes, there are some rooms that only show up in response to others.
Yes.
So this isn't a spoiler, but you can only get to her ladyship's chamber from the West Wing hallway.
That makes sense.
If
Yeah.
you are
And I
in the
would
West
expect
Wing,
that, yeah.
if you are in the West Wing and you're coming from the security room you drafted, even if it's right next to where her ladyship's chamber was last run, you only got there because you were in the West Wing hallway.
So does the story explain on why your imagination is generating these rooms?
It's fairly in depth. So like it's not limited to your imagination. It's like in story, the structure of the house is like this for everyone. And there is like an elaborate, not super explained because they can't ruin like the magic of it, but it is something with the architecture of the building. It cost a fortune. It is a floor plan that changes all the time. There are some staff members who are good at it, and there's some staff members who struggle. There are some rooms that like in notes you see people like struggle to find on any given day. But yes, you're right. There are some rooms that only show up sometimes.
I was gonna say too. The reason, another thing that why I like this so much is, and I'm gonna do it. It's exactly how Warhammer 40K ships are made.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So like,
For, like, the general
when you
then?
get into the lore, you'll learn that it's like the ships are puzzles, and it's to stop like demons just getting straight to the start. They're actually set up like this,
Interesting.
where you have to understand like the West Wing. Once you come across that spot in the ship, this is the only true path that will take
That's
you.
kind of
All these other ones go to like dead ends or traps or things like that, and then the ships.
So you
be,
got
like,
Warhammer vibes.
magic.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I did, because I was like, but it was I
And
could
it's
never
protected
truly
by
understand.
magic in Warhammer.
There's some of it, but there's also like practical. But like I can never really like, how does that even work when they say that, like, you know, oh, he was thrown into traps and puzzles inside the ship that it took him 50 years to get out of. And it wasn't until this game that I'm like, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
That's what it would look like.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh,
You-
that's so sick.
You get a lot of cool moments like that. Like there are a lot of frustrating moments where you're like you are almost at a room you think you need to get to, and then you run out of steps.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
Why
moments
do you
where
run out of steps?
you start the day with 50 steps.
Why?
That's just and we'll talk
mechanic of
about
the game.
scarcity in the discussion. But yeah, that's a mechanic of the game. Like why do you only get 800 credits on the first Valorant round, right? Like why not get 5,000 on a pistol, right?
It's just not explained. It's just a mechanic.
It's a mechanic, but it helps the gameplay. If you got infinite steps,
It seems like a narrative type of game, though.
well,
and-
in game you get exhausted. Like you've got a camp right outside, and so until you find room 46 and you inherit the house, you are sleeping outside.
I see.
And then every day you like zoom up over the fountain into the entrance hall, and then like day 2, day 3. I am north of day 60 now.
That's
Can you tell
your
him the puzzle that
exhaustion.
we went through?
Yeah, absolutely. So the parlor room is one of my favorite rooms, and over the course of the game, you do find upgrade discs, and so can upgrade some of your rooms to make them a little better. I'm really looking forward to upgrading my parlor room because I always take it anyway. Every time it gives you a logic puzzle. So the rules of the logic puzzle, there are 3 boxes, and in one of the boxes, there are 3 gems. When you're drafting rooms, there are some better room types that cost gems to make. Sometimes you'll pass those up because this other one just fits, or if you don't make it now, you're going to get it in the draft pool later, and it's not going to be an ideal choice. You want to get like some of the dead end
There's
rooms
only
out
one-
early.
Each room can only be made once because there's 45.
Yeah,
rooms.
unless you find a mirror chamber, and then you can like remake some of them. But like
The exception
yeah,
to the rule.
But most of the time,
Well,
and-
there's got to be something that breaks the way that you can pick rooms anyway to eventually get to 46.
yeah, well, there are more than 45 rooms.
I see.
And there are some there are some floor plans you discover. One of them I discovered is the tunnel, and whenever you're doing a tunnel, you always have an option to make another tunnel. So you can just tunnel to the end of the. You just keep making tunnels. I had 5 in a row earlier, and I got to the edge of the house, and then there's like a little. It's not really an Easter egg, but like it's a surprise bonus that you get if you just decide to like go ham with your tunnels. But you. Where you
You were talking the logic puzzle that
Yeah,
we
the
went
logic
through.
puzzle.
Logic puzzle,
So
sorry.
that's good.
So interesting.
There are 3 boxes. One of them has 3 gems, and you want gems. Every time you're in there, you are mad if you mess up the puzzle because there have been like 3 runs out of my 60 plus where I've had more than enough gems to not worry. Maybe like 5 or 6. And in this logic puzzle, there is one box that always only has true elements. There's one box that only has false elements, and then the third box can be all true, all false, or if it has multiple statements, they will be true or false. Or could be both true or could be both false, and you have to find it out. So in this one we were doing, there was one box that says there are
The empty boxes. The empty boxes here state true things.
Yeah, like
That was the first box.
all true boxes are empty.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
All true boxes are empty.
There is another box that said there is only one true statement, right? Was that it?
Yep.
There was
the
only
second
one
box.
true
There's
statement.
only one true statement.
And there was another set that said this box is
These
empty.
riddles are on the outside of the box.
Yes,
and
they're
you have
like
to
written
outside of the
choose
box.
based off
Yep.
the riddle.
And so you deduce it, and like some of them are easy enough where you can figure it out most of the time without like needing paper or something. But I have a Google Doc with a truth table. I took a logic class in philosophy. I can do truth tables. Sometimes I need to break that out.
Yeah.
And especially when you like when I was on like day 40 or something. Like it's gone back to easier, but I have
what was
not
the
seen a
first
repeat
riddle
logic
again?
puzzle.
What was the
It was like every true box is empty.
Every true box is empty.
There is only one true box, and the black box has the gems. I think
Yeah.
that's what the 3 were. And so
I think it was
have to-
actually the wording was a little more obfuscated than that, but that's
Sure,
the
but
idea.
that
I
was
will
what
send
you
you a picture of the
deciphered
logic
of it.
puzzle, and we can like show it right
Yeah.
here. Should I clap? Okay. But it's really well done. I love it. Most of the time I get it right. Sometimes I'm a little hasty,
Yeah.
and I don't, and that's fun. Humbles me a little bit. But I have found room 46,
Oh, nice.
but there is stuff that you don't solve yet. Once you can find room for 46, and there are these red envelopes that you find in safes, and they like they unfold some of the story and the mystery.
Yep.
And I had only found 4 red envelopes by the time I got to 46. And there are other things that are not established. There are some items that can only be made in the workshop, which you don't necessarily draft every time. There is there are some people who complain online that like, oh, this is RNG because there are items I need to make in the workshop, and they just like keep. They'll go like 4 or 5 games in a row.
That's the roguelike part of it.
That's the roguelike part of it. I will say, for anybody who's watching, if you do hate that RNG element, just Google the word conservatory. Conservatory, if it gives you the option to find a workshop, will make your workshop more common. And I have done that, and I now don't struggle nearly as much.
Interesting.
But there is so much to this game. I got to give a shout out to Rock Paper Shotgun. It is a website on gaming. I read this review on there. It gave a glowing review. I decided to give it a shot because I was only playing TFT, and I was into the idea of something a little puzzly. This is surpassed my expectations. It encourages you to get like a journal or something to write down, and you absolutely need to. I've never taken as many pictures of a game as I have with this one. There are books.
I do
want
to shout out to another puzzle game. I brought it up, Chance of Sonar.
Yeah.
Definitely want you to try
And
that
it's
one out
chance, right? Like ANTS.
Yeah, Chance. Yeah.
Like they're chanting.
But that game is purely like visual, basically. But that should be a game you try. I think it's one of the most beautiful art direction styles I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. So
Way above my skill level.
Puzzle Pog Champ.
Zombro was just lighting me up because I couldn't figure it out. But he's like a master puzzle game guy.
I have to talk to him about this because
There's no way he hasn't heard of it.
He's
'cause,
guaranteed
like,
he's already. It's
like
a matter
this
of how far he is.
Yeah. Oh, he's probably. When did it release?
Like a little over a week ago.
No,
Oh, it's that new?
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably. Maybe he hasn't started it yet. I'll ask him. But
But just with the amount of content online, there are a lot of people who are spending a lot lot of their time.
yeah, I'm
on
sure
this
he's.
game.
I'm sure he's already
Yeah.
played his fill of it.
So that's what we've been playing.
Cool.
Not just TFT.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the shorter subject first. Anyone seen any of the new Doom gameplay?
No.
Okay, so well, they've been letting people starting to get hands on it.
Okay.
Id is amazing.
Yep.
We all know this. First of all, from a technical standpoint, they
Right.
are the best,
Right.
hands down.
Their optimization is
Um,
god tier.
Yeah, it's proper. Proper Old Testament optimization. They so many people don't realize, especially if you just look at it from footage, 2016 and Eternal play very differently. Even though they look very similar, the way they feel is very, very different. I don't know if you guys have played both. Have you played either of them?
I haven't played a single Doom game.
Wow.
Yeah, me neither.
That's actually insane. How have I played
I know.
both of them? Wow.
I haven't
okay.
played Age of Empires.
I've just thought.
Well, that's
I
like
don't know
more
what
acceptable
it is,
though.
but
RTS
just
is
always dodge Doom.
okay. No, that's totally fine.
It's,
So
and it's not
so
even
20.
like I don't like the concept of it because I play
Yeah.
shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Doom.
So
just, whatever.
so 1 and 2 had I guess the best way to explain 1 is it focused on the guns themselves
Okay.
and
And you're talking about Doom 2016.
16. Yep.
Okay.
Doom 2 focused more on swapping guns and movement
Yeah.
and
'Cause you get the grappling hook.
yep.
And
well also
Eternal,
you also
right.
had like double side boosts
Oh,
and stuff
yeah,
like
that's
that
right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
parkour elements in the
true,
game.
Yeah.
And also the way you
I
manage
love the
ammo
parkour
economy.
in Eternal too. I
Yeah.
just love the way he
He looks, yeah. So, and also ammo economy was like a thing in 2. It was not in 1. Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because the original had ammo
Yep.
economy.
Yep.
And
And
that's where
then
the scarcity idea is coming from.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yep. So this third one is completely different from even the first 2.
Interesting.
And that's what's cool. They did not want to be as vertical
Okay.
as 16 and especially Eternal. Eternal is very vertical.
Yes.
And so this one is first person bullet hell.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And that's actually how the original Doom is a bullet hell game.
Yeah.
And so this one is much more focused on dodging incoming projectiles. And the way you move quick through the game is by locking onto enemy targets and animation dashing to them as opposed to just parkouring off of things.
Oh, interesting.
Because it kind of goes more into the dodging of projectiles.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new weapons and stuff like that, but the weapons are not as important as in 2016. And you're not swapping through them as much as Eternal.
Right. Because there is so much focus on the dodging.
Right, but there's also a lot of more open worldness to it, more like Halo Infinite,
Oh,
where
really?
like you have to defeat everyone, but
Yeah.
you kind of choose the order in which you're going to do it.
I see.
A lot of the players are saying it doesn't actually feel.
Like an open world.
No, it's still linear in
Yeah,
that sense,
right.
but you just have more options on when you're going to
Yeah.
do what and what order you're going to do it. But it still feels pretty linear.
Yeah.
But the gameplay
But I like
style,
that.
the
I even
gameplay
like
style
open
looks
world
pretty
games that
interesting.
Have linear paths.
Yeah. But here's the thing the reason I'm bringing this up is I still think Eternal's going to look the coolest to play. I think Dark Ages looks awesome like visually, and I like the style they're doing and all this, and I want to be the big mech fight that looks sick. But it's they're changing their style with each game. And I just want to like praise them for having the cojones. You know, Call of Duty, I could never change my style. This is like huge differences in the games. I mean, they're very obvious. Like in Doom Eternal, you can't even melee a creature to death.
Really?
No, you can't.
You have to bullet them.
You have to shoot them to weaken them to do it. So like even the weakest puny zombie, you can just hit it over and over and over and over again, and it doesn't die. Whereas 2016, you just whack and just
Right.
keep going, you know.
Yeah.
But that was like something they wanted to change intentionally.
Yeah.
And so I just love that they're making 3 different shooters
Yeah.
inside of one IP. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away from the other games. You can still enjoy those games a lot. The only next level to that would be if they still release DLC for the older games, which I know they haven't released any DLC for 2016, but they did for Eternal. They had 2 full DLC packs. But could you imagine if they released a third one on Eternal's timeline, you know, and then you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, it's still this universe. It's still a shooter,
Right.
but it's a different vibe. I just think that's really cool. So if you guys haven't seen any of that stuff yet, I know the game comes out, I think, in late May. So
I can check it out.
we'll
I
be
might be
talking
done
about
with
it
Blueprints
again.
by then.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it again in late May. But I just want to talk about that quick. Marathon. I want to hear Forrest's thoughts on
As
Marathon.
a Bungie, am I diehard? Maybe. I've played every single Bungie game except for Marathon, which is funny because I just didn't know
Oh, the
about
OG?
Bungie. Yeah, it was on an Apple Macintosh. We never, growing up, had an Apple ever.
Right.
We were always Windows. And then I was a console gamer. I was never even a PC gamer until you and I became friends, right?
Oh, right.
And so Halo was always my shooter, and then Destiny was my MMO. Like it really was the first MMO that I actually got addicted to, and Bungie it knows me. I really feel like I'm the target demographic for Bungie games. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but their combat, their shooting feels so good, so smooth. It always has every bullet that you shoot has meaning.
Okay.
You never if you miss a bullet in Halo, you feel it. A single bullet.
Right, because the time to kill is so long.
Yes.
That you can actually tell, I had this guy on reticule longer.
Yeah. Right.
Well, he had it on me longer, and that's why he killed me because I missed a couple
shots.
shots.
You have to be able to
Track,
right? In any Bungie game, even Destiny. Now, Destiny had a very, I would say, forgiving auto aim. Because it was an MMO.
I actually remember that. I actually remember feeling I'm like, wow, this thing is glue.
It's a power fantasy though, right?
Yep.
It wants you to feel like a guardian, like you've been chosen by God, because that's what the Traveler is. It's a god. It's a god of light. And so it always made you feel so ominous. And so for whatever reason, Bungie's always nailed it for me. And even the Halo games after Bungie left, after Reach, so Halo 4, Halo 5, and even Infinite, a lot of the guys that were working on Halo did stick with 343, and I did really like the Halo games going forward, but I liked Destiny more than those Halo games.
Yep.
And so for whatever reason, Bungie has always really captured of what I'm looking for in a shooter. And so regardless of all the hate that Marathon is getting right now, I just have this inkling that it's going to be the best extraction game I've ever played. You know what I mean? They're going to nail the pace of it. I love Halo pace.
All right. Let's be more negative.
Yeah, and we'll get your negative.
No, you're negative.
No. I can't.
No, hate on it.
I can't.
Apparently, there are none.
So
There's nothing about the game you don't like from what you've seen so far.
I've seen so far the criticisms that were I'm okay, I'll be mindful of it, and that's the map design for the map that they've mostly been shared.
What about the
showing
graphics?
off. The graphics I love.
You like the style.
I love the style.
Wow.
Love the style. When that opening,
I think that'll be the death of it.
See, and that's what people are saying too.
I think that'll be the death
and
of it.
I don't think so, because
Okay.
this isn't for Destiny players, because they're still working on Destiny, and Destiny 3 is going to come out.
Yeah, but
So they're not
I
trying to
just-
serve Destiny players. They're not trying to serve Halo players. They're trying to serve a demographic that wants to play extraction shooters that's not being served.
okay. How large do you think that demographic is?
On a consistent player base, probably.
You think? All right. Here's a real question for you.
I think Steam.
I want to put money on it. I actually want to put money on it.
Okay.
All right. $50.
Okay.
Assuming this is on Steam. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't even think
Yeah, it
it'll
will
be
be.
at. I don't
It'll
even
be
think
on
it'll be at 50,000 players
It'll be
within
100,000
6 months.
players. It'll be 100,000.
You don't even have to say it. You have to say 51,000.
You just have to say, yeah, 51.
I'm saying it'll be at 100,000.
All right. So
What about
all right.
70,000?
You're that-
Make the
you're that
breakpoints.
confident? Okay. All right. So I think it'll be under 100,000 players
Okay.
within 6 months.
Okay.
All right, $50 done.
$50.
All right. Yeah, I think.
Let me add Google Calendar.
All the feedback we're both hearing is gunplay is still really good.
Yep.
People like the way the guns
Because
feel.
it's Bungie.
And I think that's valid. I think that's fine. You know what gunplay was also really good? That Minecraft shooter game that came out recently that was trying to replace
Minecraft shooter.
Roblox type shooter game.
Are we all good with October 22nd, 6 months from now?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
hit
good.
it.
Sounds good.
What was the game that looked like Roblox? Battle something.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it looked like Battlefield.
Yeah,
Well, it played like
it played like Battlefield, but it was
but
just
it looked like
Roblox,
Minecraft.
right? That game hit like 300,000 players.
When it first
Like
came
it
out,
just went insane because it played so well.
Right.
It's dead now, and you know why it's dead? Because feeling is good.
Yeah.
But eventually you're just like, dude, I don't want to play this game anymore because I can't get immersed. I don't vibe with it.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like, and so here's my issue is that the gunplay being solid is very important. And I bet you it's going to be good. I've actually seen some of the footage and the guns look even slower.
Then
They look
Destiny.
really slow, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty for
Right.
as a whole. But the graphics, the muted color tones, all these different things.
You just don't think that's gonna vibe with enough people?
No. I mean, I put money on it. I am that confident.
You just don't think society's ready for those colors yet, huh?
I don't think any society
Wants
en
them
masse
anyway, yeah.
is going to be interested in that.
Well, and that's the thing.
Some people were bitching about
I don't think it's gonna
story.
be a mass game.
Dude, I don't think
You think it's going to be at least 100K in 6 months?
that's a
Yeah.
pretty large game. I was only gonna put you on the string for 50,000 players.
Well, I think it's
I'm-
definitely a game that makes a million copies sold, like 100%.
Yeah, but there's a lot of games that do that.
How many-
now.
it
There's no
retains-
problem.
How many of
I
us
think it
still play
retains
Pal World?
10%.
I was gonna ask about Power World.
Yeah,
I think
everyone
it-
got
I
Pal
think
World.
it-
Who's still playing?
It keeps 10% of its buyers. I really do.
You think
Like
it'll keep
engaged.
10%?
Yeah,
Of a million, yeah.
Wow.
That's 100K.
I really do.
All right.
It's Bungie.
I don't know.
The hero shooter has people on
Also-
the fence because
also, like-
hero shooters are starting to feel overplayed right now.
Yeah,
right?
we're over them.
Especially with Marvel. But
Yeah, because Rivals is doing it the best. And why do you want to play
they-
anything else?
based,
Unless you're me.
based off
Unless
of
you're
a
like
teammate.
these people
nostalgia
based
guy
off of
for
what these people have been playing, they're crafting these heroes like Apex characters, which I thought was actually brilliant because
I think that's a good direction to go in.
Apex nailed the 3-person squad hero balance. And so to just like piggyback off of that, I mean, you see it with Marvel Rivals, right? Marvel Rivals just stole Overwatch's hero builds, right? Because it was already worked.
Yep.
So these guys, Marathon, is doing the same thing with Apex. It's a 3-person shooter. 3-person is kind of awkward
It is.
At
It
times.
should have probably been 4.
at times,
But
look at how long
But Apex is still
has been.
doing well.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Apex is fine.
And so that's actually more of the player base I think that Marathon actually captures is
Even then,
Battle
that
Royale
just makes it worse.
and Apex players.
That just makes it worse.
Tarkov players aren't going to come over.
No, Tarkov players are not coming over.
But there are a ton of people that like
You
the
think a
idea
lot
of
of
an
people will
extraction
leave
game.
Apex?
I don't think a
for
lot
Marathon?
of people will leave Apex, but I think it will steal players from Apex.
Well, there's still some, but I don't think it'll sell even 5%.
What is the Apex player base?
I'd be interested to know.
Because maybe 5% is
There-
100K.
but I feel like there's
I do
there's
wanna-
a lot of players out there that like shooters, like
Yeah.
especially that are getting burned on like Warzone and
Well,
stuff.
I want to bring up
that
2
want
counterpoints
an
too.
extraction game. Like think of how much people wanted DMZ to be good, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Like, I feel like all the Extraction players are already playing Tarkov.
Right. So
But-
this will
but
give
we
almost
just- but
hits-
we-
this will give
Apex almost hits 200, almost hit 200K on the 19th.
Wow.
the 24-hour peak is 175,000.
What's Destiny's?
Let us investigate.
I do want to bring up 2 red herrings that I think people are throwing at Destiny that I don't think are deserved.
At Destiny? Or
I'm sorry, at
Okay.
Marathon.
Okay.
First, people saying like, "Oh, the story isn't finished." That's really stupid, bro. This is an extraction shooter.
It's an extraction shooter.
Any story you get is just a bonus.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that nonsense. I think
Not
that's
only
dumb.
that, but Halo and even Destiny when it first came out, lore has always been
Added slowly.
yes.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
only
yeah.
that, but like
Destiny
kinda, like,
2
stripped
can almost hit 30K on a good day.
Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought it was.
Bro, I feel I'm probably going to take $25 of your money because you said 100K, and I just think that's.
Did you hear me? Did you hear me try to go to 70K? 70K for 50 might be fair. I can change the Google
you know what?
Calendar.
I don't
Probably
care. I
depends
don't
on the
care.
price,
I don't care
if
what
it's free to play.
No, it's not. It's paid.
It,
Wait, you didn't know that?
it's not. It's not confirmed that it's paid.
Oh, it's confirmed by Sony.
Sony confirmed it.
Yeah, they just haven't confirmed the price. It's not free to play. Yeah. Dude, it's
I
not.
feel like it still could be
They might change it.
because of.
But
what
that was
happened
the
in
second.
Concord.
That was the second thing I was going to talk about was the fact
Right.
that people were whining that it wasn't a free to play game.
The studio,
should be
I don't know the
free-to-play
full
game.
story about why, but the studio did release a statement about why it isn't free to play. So
Why? What did they say?
that's what I said.
Because Concord lost us $900 trillion. And
Yeah.
this game has cost us.
On Bungie to make that back.
This game, well, they bought Bungie for like,
I know.
what did they
And
pay?
they'll make it. They'll make it back.
$8.1
I mean,
billion.
Destiny 3 is going to be massive, dude.
Yeah. All right. So I think the game should cost money because I'm very much in that camp. But it can't cost $1 over
It does
$30.
make cheating easier.
It can't cost.
to
Yeah. Even PUBG still
manage.
costs money, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
No, it's free to play. No.
Oh, they went free to play.
Yeah.
Um,
All extraction games aren't free to play. There's not a single free to play extraction game, though, is there? I don't think so.
Not that I know
No,
of.
because
Not
even-
Besides DMZ.
Not since
No.
DMZ died.
DMZ's
dead.
You
Yeah.
had to buy the Call of Duty game to get access to it. You couldn't get it for free.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So there hasn't.
Maybe
been
that's
any
why extraction shooters are so wanted because the market's not flooded
With free to play.
with free to play ones,
It could
and
be.
we're like, oh, we're keeping this mechanic underpaid.
I mean,
Okay,
feel like
I'm just
if
saying
it is
Marathon
paid,
can't be
It's
a-
got to be $40 then.
Oh, see, that's my issue is it needs to be paid. A lot of people are calling for it to be free. I don't think it should be free, but I don't think it can be $40.
Why?
I don't think it's enough content. It's got to be a 30,
you
maybe
think
even a
that's too much?
$25 game.
$30 actually would be nice. But
25
I think $40
Blueprints is
$20.
$30.
Yeah.
$25.
RuneScape
And it gets you-
Dragonwilds was $30 and it was a
No, no
no-brainer
problem.
purchase.
25
for me.
bucks?
So $40 I would have to think about it. Yeah, $30 is the sweet spot. Is
$25 and it sells 2 million copies.
$35?
20.
25.
25?
Yep.
Let's say 30.
But
Okay.
$40, I bet you it doesn't even
What?
sell
Can
400,000
we ad hoc?
copies.
Can we ad hoc to the bet then that if it's $30, it's 100,000 people?
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
All right.
If it's $40 or more, yeah,
Adjusting.
50,000.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
yeah, it ain't happening.
All right, at Drift In, we are
Bro,
going to
if it-
talk about the specifics of this bet.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, if it's $40, dude, they're not even selling 400,000
No
in the first
way.
week.
No, they're still selling
If it's
a million.
$40, nope. You know why? Because what people are just gonna go on there and gonna be like, okay, wait, so it's just because you know what, Forrest?
Yeah.
They already are playing an extraction shooter. They've already bought into an extraction shooter. And so they're gonna be like this. They're gonna be like
Well,
this.
I
They're
think
gonna be like
there's a lot of people
$40.
that finally
I'm gonna go
buy
look
an
at
extraction shooter.
No.
I feel like this is
the
the case.
graphics pull them out. The graphics will pull them out.
Think of all the people that do want graphics like this, though.
And want to pay $40.
What is the number one complaint? The graphics. Every single person.
Well,
When they complain,
alpha.
the number one
they can tone down the palette before it comes out.
They need to tone it up. They don't need to tone it down.
What
It's the
do you
most
complain-
bland
I
looking.
don't think it's bland.
I saw a random this super small samples. I saw a random person complaining about Elder Scrolls 4 remaster, saying there's a lot of brown. They just don't like how much brown there is.
Yeah, you
That's
weren't
why
alive
I-
when the games looked
That's
like
why
that.
I don't
kid.
like Deadlock, because Deadlock is so
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's a
yeah.
very Valve signature look
I know.
that it's like I feel like
hate
people
it.
forgive
I
it.
know, I hate
But
it.
I haven't heard about that game. Like no one's playing
You
that.
should see the
What's
ending.
Deadlock? Hey, what's
The
Deadlock's
ending
numbers?
content in Destiny
curious.
is so colorful though, and so they have been leaning towards this design philosophy. But the concept just seems really, really cool. Like I love that these are
Yeah. Lower than
these
Destiny
are individuals that are
Yeah.
essentially giving up their humanity to get cloned.
I don't care. It's an extraction shooter.
See, but it fits. It fits that narrative. The extraction part of it fits the narrative.
Have you played Citizen Sleeper?
No.
That does a really good job of going over people who gave up their humanity in order to like get a cloned version, and then the clone is like in slave labor. And
that's essentially
really
what they do.
great game that I didn't have to. I don't think I had to
Alright.
pay $40 for it.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm just
So how
really
many
worried
hours
about
did you spend on
Marathon.
I spent a decent amount of time on it.
Did you?
I liked that game.
I'm really worried about Marathon.
They do have to have social spaces too, though. I
Yeah.
didn't see any
None of
social
that's
spaces.
gonna happen. Anyways,
Social spaces.
should we talk
are
about
so
Valorant
important
so we can
for
go get food?
multiplayer.
Yeah, sure. You want to kick Scarcity to next time? Because Scarcity, if we want to make
What's
it a discussion,
Scarcity?
that was the discussion topic. You don't want
I mean-
to spend
Oh.
more time on a
Yeah,
discussion topic
I would rather talk about scarcity than Valorant.
than Valorant.
oh
Dang,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Valorant's
Okay,
coming
okay.
up this week.
All right, we'll skip Valorant this time. The one
No,
time we skip it.
the time when playoffs are coming up.
It's okay.
Okay, well, then you have to link my pick'em in the episode description.
Yeah, yeah. At
Well,
least
just
do that.
go over your pick 'em quick.
Okay,
can-
but then
Who
I
wins
have
it
to-
all? Who's winning it all?
You go last
G2,
then.
of course. All right. Valorant playoffs are happening this week. They start on the 24th, which is this Thursday, 4 p.m. Central, is when MIBR 100 Thieves takes place. I think G2 is going to win it all. I think C9 is not going to choke in playoffs this time around. Shocker. I know they always choke in playoffs. I think Grand Finals is going to be G2, C9. Net playing his old former teammates, but they choke at the end and G2 wins it and goes on to make Masters. That is my commitment. Sorry, Sen fans and 100 Thieves fans, but 100 Thieves fans, I mean, none of you have faith anyway. You've seen your team play. All right, discussion.
This is just to get into Worlds, right?
This is to the top 3 make it to Masters. So there's already been one Masters. There's going to be a second Masters, and then after stage 2, there
Sentinels
is
has
champions.
Made the previous 2 Masters. Right?
Not the they made Masters 1 last year and Masters 1 this year.
Oh, okay.
So technically they didn't make
Then
the last
100 Thieves made the second Masters.
100
this year?
this last Masters G2 went and G2 and Sentinels, and I'm a fake fan. I think maybe there were only 2 from each and there are 3 now. But in any case, I think G2's going. I think G2's going. I think C9's going. I think MIBR's going. MIBR bought Osbos, and now they're doing well. Also, they got Verno from NRG, and NRG was doing a lot of hate on Verno, and he absolutely fried since the hate buff. So I think they're gonna carry it today. Those are my 3 teams. We'll link my pick 'em in the description. Yeah,
Can you bet on these anywhere?
yeah, you can.
Oh,
If
really?
you bet, I will. You can absolutely. There's
yeah.
fantasy
Link it
Valorant
to
that I
me.
really
Link
wish
it-
we were
link it to
doing.
me. Link it to
All
me.
right, sounds good. We'll do it.
We do not endorse gambling on the Patch Notes podcast.
Yeah.
Please gamble
At least
responsibly.
33% of
And
us do not
legally.
endorse game.
and legally in your
I
state.
suspend judgment on whether I endorse it.
All right.
He suspends judgment until a sponsor approaches us, and then he endorses it.
Oh yeah. I would take my clothes off for a
Steak?
sponsor.
$15,000 a
listening,
person.
Steak?
Sheesh.
Yeah, for real.
Scarcity.
Yeah, so
Scarcity.
I was thinking about scarcity in video games when I was playing Blueprints.
Because you
and
only get so many steps.
I only get so many
Kinda
steps, and I
frustrated
only
you.
get so many doors, and I'm like, oh. But at the same time, like that's what makes me like want to keep loading back in.
Right.
If I had 4 doors every room, it would be easy, right? And I was also thinking about how one of my favorite Resident Evil games is, like Resident Evil 4, a lot real survival horror, and I really loved Resident Evil. Was it 6 Biohazard? Absolutely adored that one, and it was one of the ones that you had like the fewest resources in.
Yeah.
And one of the ones not 6, I think it was 7. The one I hated.
7 was Village.
8 was Village.
8 was Village?
8 was Village. 7 was Biohazard.
Oh.
Yep, and then 6 we don't talk about 6.
I don't remember 6.
It's all right. We'll put a correction if needed. But
my least favorite Resident Evil, even though it was one that had co-op, and so I liked playing with my friends, but only to that extent, was 5. Because Resident Evil 5 had the most
with Leon,
armor.
right?
No, that was 4. 5 had like Chris Redfield and is like
yeah,
absolutely ripped, and he goes to Africa, and
Right.
that was very not 2020s.
Okay. See, I forgot one in the whole thing.
It's
I
all
just
right.
pushed them all back.
Yeah, exactly. So like the one I hated most was, and maybe there were other things about it, but like it was the one where I had the most ammo. Like I just didn't feel any of the survival horror elements, and part of that is the survival horror genre, right? Like you want to be on the edge of your seat and needing to use your resources creatively. But the creative use of limited resources is a theme that spans many more genres than just survival horror, and it gets at scarcity and limitation in video game design.
Yeah.
I think
Even was in Age of Empires, right? With resources, they were scarce on the map.
The entire game is based upon scarcity of essentially gold.
Right. Because once you run out of gold, it's like unless you have a
It
market.
becomes a trash war.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very boring and grindy.
yeah. So it's about
You
like
can see pro games going 8 hours long,
Oh, dang.
but for
That's-
like 50 grand, so they actually play it out.
Right.
8, 9 hour games, no pauses.
that's crazy.
It's not fun to watch for anybody. It's even less. It's even less fun to cast, and it's even less fun to play it.
Dude, imagine casting that for 8 hours straight.
There's a guy who played these 2 players. Sorry to sidetrack this, but they ran out of everything on the map. They harvested, I think it was like 400,000 wood from the map, which is like
Insane.
stupid. Lasted 13 hours and 27 minutes, and the guy finally beat him. And they were both. It was just a random ranked game, but it was by like 2 high pros, and they were just like super stubborn.
Was one streaming it then? Or
Yeah. So like he uploaded the entire video.
Oh, God.
Was he wearing a diaper?
No, it got to the point in the game where they had so little resources where they were just micromanaging like 30 units, and so like it was like a night raid would happen where like you would pull your guys back, go take a piss, make a sandwich, and he couldn't see where you were on the map, so it's like I can't look away. It's like imagine playing blitz chess.
Yeah.
But blindfolded or something, or like
Oh
there was
my
something in front of the map
God.
where you didn't know if the guy was there or not.
Insane.
You know, and it's like, oh, you could go grab an extra pawn, but he'll move. What do I do? Yeah. That happened like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
That's insane.
Took the Age of Empires community
So
by
there's-
storm.
There's a bad way to handle
Well,
scarcity.
there's
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but like the people
Well,
who are
that's
into it. I
competitive
mean,
games, right?
right.
Like,
yeah, I mean that is part of
Scarcity and competitiveness.
competition, right?
Yeah.
And like the game you developed, like One Punch Guy.
Yeah.
If you just give everybody the power ups right away, it feels meaningless.
True.
It feels absolutely meaningless.
Absolutely,
They have to be rare enough so that they are exciting when they happen. And you can't just get to like a massive power fantasy right away. Like it's true with shonen anime too. Like if you get really powerful right away, first episode nobody cares, right? You have to be weak enough. You have to like slowly develop your abilities, and that's where some of the excitement is. That's where the enticement is.
I mean, One Punch Guy did it, or One Punch Man did it.
Yeah, One Punch Man was part of One Punch Man's success was that it was like a
a
interesting
parody.
subversion of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
genre.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's just as strong as the plot needs him to be.
Yeah, but it's interesting. You can't like do a sub. I mean, maybe you could, but like I haven't seen a subversion in that with in video games, right? Like a game that just comes out and says we have full cheats on at all times, right? And they're not
Isn't
considered
Just
cheats.
Cause like that?
Just Cause, I guess. Yeah, you technically are
By the way,
as powerful as you're always going to be.
is it a play on word? It's Just Cause, but it's also Just
Just
Cause.
'cause. I like that.
Is that the idea?
Maybe it is, actually.
I have always kind of thought that. I've never actually played the
Just like
games.
RuneScape is Run Escape.
No. But I've always assumed that was like the play on. It was like it wasn't a Just Cause. It's Just Cause. Yeah.
That is though I would say the exact opposite of scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you just-
Well, you know,
have everything.
I wanted to
always,
say,
whenever.
just to bring it right out the gate, there are games that use zero scarcity that are some of the most popular games in the world. Tetris. It has no scarcity mechanic. You just continually grind the levels and
Well,
they
no,
get
you
harder.
grind the levels, but like you don't
But-
get the piece you want all the time, right? Like part of the puzzle is like.
Well, I
you're
guess if you
getting-
want to base it down to that level,
does that.
but that's
other than like creative Minecraft.
yeah. I just want to say like if you're gonna say that is scarcity and the mechanic on how we're talking, you're
Well,
a
yeah,
true.
it's an important mechanic in a lot of genres, but in the same way that like.
Well, I would say it's a scarcity is in every single game then.
Yeah.
But when I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
we don't have to. We don't have to. Yeah,
I'm not
we
trying
can
to
say
lawyer
intention.
it. I'm just saying like I wouldn't use that in scarcity in the same way of like ammo is scarcity in a shooter.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
That's fine, yeah.
because like you can still play the game without ammo. In Tetris, you have to play the game no matter what is given to
that's
you.
fair.
So
Scarcity does make gaming better though. Like
Yeah.
I agree. It's another lever.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
you
It's a
put on
lever
there,
for
it's a lever.
It's a lever for difficulty.
It's a lever for sure. It's a gamification. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where, League of Legends released Earth, which is ultra rapid fire mode, and your spells have no mana cost.
pure
And
AD.
no mana cost and
minimal cooldown.
all cooldowns are reduced by 90%.
Oh, this is a game mode.
Yeah. Oh, you've never played it?
Oh no.
It's crack. They actually released studies on this.
Oh, jeez.
Riot did because when they first released it, they had the largest player return ever documented in their history.
We talked about this in a previous episode.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Basically, what happened is you have League of Legends, which takes 40 minutes. There's a lot of scarcity in League. There's a lot of trade-offs. You know, well, Earth just got rid of all that, and what it made was just this huge dopamine hit of instant gratification.
Yep.
And so what happened is you would play Earth for the 2 weeks is out, and then players that were regular players would stop playing the game. They didn't want to play the game anymore because it was just like so crazy that the normal game felt boring. Scarcity was not fun anymore.
Yeah.
But at first Riot didn't release this data. They didn't tell anyone this for a couple of years. And then they released kind of like their own little white page. And they're like, frankly, the reason we don't let Earth come back more than once a year, people stop playing our game. And it's because we removed the scarcity, you know, and it's also just insanely cracked, like super fast action. It's
Like
super
think
fun.
fast.
There's
Yeah, it's like imagine playing just Think Fast. Every single game, every seventh stage, it's Think Fast. You know, it's like
there's a game mode.
that would be super fun. Would you ever play normal again?
TFT again?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. I would want to roll down like a crazy mofo. Yeah.
It's funny though because like there's a game mode called Mayhem in Destiny 2. So
Okay.
it's a competitive mode. So Destiny 2 generally has team deathmatch, a control game mode where it's like capture the zone or whatever and defend it. You have to like the more zones you control, every elimination that you get is worth so many points. So if you control 2 points, then your eliminations are worth 2 points. If you only control 1, then your eliminations are only worth 1 point, right? So it rewards
interesting.
it
Okay, I
rewards
like that.
capture.
That's a great
and-
idea.
I know it's the perfect.
Wait, why has COD never done that?
I
or
don't know.
Battlefield? It's so
Actually,
good.
I don't know because
That's such a great idea.
That's a good mechanism.
It's the
It's
best
a
way
win
to play
more.
Destiny.
It's a win more.
It really is
Yeah,
the best
yeah,
way
yeah,
to play
yeah.
Destiny. Well, they came up with Mayhem, which pretty much got rid of cooldowns for your abilities. And you can collect heavy ammo, which is like, your rocket launchers and your grenade launchers. You can collect it all over the map all the time. And everyone's using their supers and their grenades
They
everywhere.
just made
and
Earth.
it's
They
just
made Earth.
They made Earth.
Yeah.
I can only ever play like 2 of it, and then I have to go back to the regular when I was like a heavy Destiny player. I just couldn't handle it. Like the fact that there was no scarcity turned me off to it. Actually,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like there's like some art that's missing and then skill expression. If like everyone's
skill expression.
if everyone has rocket launchers in old
Then
school
no
Halo-
one does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is
do you
just
want
the
to play?
default weapon.
Yeah. Then everyone has a pistol, and then there's no then
Well, and
there's-
scarcity creates epic moments.
Yes.
So it's like it's
'cause
when
it's an
you
outplay.
have when you have made the effort to collect enough resources, right? Whether it's mana or whether it's gold
or even just enough ammo where you're like, okay, I'm just going to unload on this horde of zombies, right? Because I have earned the right to do so. Those are the epic moments that Scarcity actually creates in games, where if it's epic all the time, well, then you never feel like you've actually accomplished anything.
It's
You're just
also
going through the motions.
It's also proven in audiences that audiences like Scarcity is too. So in competitive games, we have in competitive games with economies, you have a term called funneling. Okay, so I'll use League as an example, but Age of Empires is also a great example of this too. Where like in League of Legends, are you guys familiar with Master Yi?
Yeah.
Okay, so Master Yi is a jungler, but he's like a power farmer, right? So he can clear the jungle incredibly fast, and once Master Yi gets ahead in League of Legends, it's nigh impossible to stop him. He's just the way he's balanced. He's considered one of like the 3 low elo pub stompers. Like if you're smurfing, you play Master Yi to get.
He's the one with like the 3 goggles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sword. He's harder to put down unless you know what you're doing. And so they had the strategy where they would use certain characters that would enhance Master Yi. So they remove some of his weaknesses, some of the scarcity traits that they gave him. But it was making the other players of the team weaker as well. And so what they did is all the other 4 players just sacrificed really hard and buffed Yi and funneled all their gold. So they wouldn't even farm their minions. They would like store them up so he could come farm the jungle, farm all their minions, go back up so he'd be like 5 levels ahead of everyone.
Really?
Yeah, he would have like, 50, 60% more gold.
So they're funneling resources into the one
Yi.
character who scales
Right.
fast.
Right. And so then he would just take over the game in pro games. And so it was like, oh, okay, we didn't design him to be able to be used like this. And the only reason these pro players are doing that is because they're playing towards a greater goal. No solo queue players will find this fun. Oh, okay, sweet. So you get to have all the fun, and I just sit here and do nothing?
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like a natural thing. And those types of scarcity moments happen in competitive play, but they would never happen in like a normal competitive play, well, I should say a pro play, not just competitive or single player moments, because you're like, oh, this isn't even fun. Like I'm not having fun, and I'm here to have fun. Like this is a video game, right? So I find those types of things interesting, where devs have to go in and like stop that from happening. So they create whole new mechanics to stop that from happening.
Exactly.
To address certain teams abusing things.
Yeah, when certain things do stop being scarce, that's when a lot of like bad meta situations can happen. Like one reason some Valorant players really hate the current meta with Teo is because Teo's got so much util that you put him together with other units, and people who went to Valorant because they thought it was more like CS than Overwatch are now pissed.
No.
They make all of these like these memes where like the old Riot devs were like, we want you don't get killed with abilities, you get killed with gunplay.
Yeah, that is not the case anymore.
Now and like there are comps that can play without Teo, right? But like it is more than ever a comp where you can just have these really cringe post plants where as long as you get the bomb down with enough time, as long as you got like
this
your
guy's
Teo
creating
over
a
here.
volcano, this guy's creating a smoke field, this guy's creating his own, that guy's a dog.
That's a great. I love that. But yeah, it is like during the Harbor meta that was awful. But like Teo's brought some of that back, and like when Goats was really popular in Overwatch and a lot of people stopped watching and a lot of people stopped playing, it was because suddenly health pools were huge, right? The idea that you could just like stop playing DPS altogether and you could just have a whole bunch of tanks and a whole bunch like 3 tanks, 3 healers. You don't need DPS now. You've got so much healing and so much health that like. Who needs gunplay anymore?
You can't make a mistake.
Scarce.
You can't make a mistake anymore. Yep. Yeah, it's the same thing with Age of Empires. So there was a strategy that happened for a while where we called it slinging instead of funneling. But basically, you would have like a 4v4 team. Well, basically in Age of Empires, it's typically asymmetrical. So you have four on one side, 4, and they'll be mirrored up. Well, the outside players, we call those the pocket players. On the outside, they normally have the rougher economies because you hit the outside of the map right? And so it just got to the point where the natural evolution of, well, I'm not going to go too hard into fighting because I'm just going to lose most of it, right? And then it's got to the point where the sides wouldn't even fight each other anymore. They would just focus purely on economy and send resources to the two middle. Well, what happened is now you weren't playing a 4v4, you were just playing a 2v2.
Right.
And it just got to the point where viewers were like, I want to see big battles, not smaller battles. And people were complaining, so the devs had to go in and make it where in pro games you could not trade resources until later in the game.
Interesting.
Yep.
Was that actually a mechanic they programmed in?
Yeah, so now you can't even send resources in the second age. And what was happening is most people would keep their economies in the second age and send resources to get them to the third and fourth age. Okay. Well, now you could send resources in the third, but they were taxed by the game at 30%.
Oh, dang.
And that was enough to be like, ooh, okay, maybe we should just build military.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the only way you could truly get rid of it was Imperial. And it even took them over a year to do that. They just had to start making house rules that you could only start slinging in Castle and Imperial, the third and fourth age, because like nobody wanted to watch that shit. It's like nobody wants to watch that. That's true. So
yeah, Scarcity. Makes,
sometimes the best way to play the game is not the most fun way to play the game.
Yeah.
And Scarcity can sometimes force that to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's up to the devs. It's up to the devs to be responsible and be watching out for that, you know.
And it also it takes like it's something we recognize, so I'm going to, of course, say it like it takes a degree of wisdom because we are wise people, right? But it takes a degree of wisdom to recognize that sometimes the things you rail against are the things that are actually making your experience good, right? Like, all of us want more of whatever resource it is, but a lot of times we are able to enjoy what we're enjoying precisely because we don't have enough of it. The people we're playing against don't have enough of it. We want more, and that it like gives you the adventure.
I'm trying to think. Like, I forget which dev it was, but I remember, I know there's an example, I just can't remember, but basically they're like, it was, sorry, League of Legends again.
Of course.
But it was the lead balance guy, Freak. And basically he's like, people whine and complain that 80 carry is weak. It's weak, buff it. The problem is, it's very strong in pro play. Because that is a role that needs communication from the other four players. Because League of Legends is designed around the 80 carry.
Right.
So it's like you kill the 80 carry before your 80 carry dies, you're probably going to win the fight.
Yep.
And so it's like one of those things people are like, please buff 80 carries. It's the most useless role. I can't climb with it. And the reality is like, if I buff 80 carries and it's a useful role by yourself, that's going to ruin pro play. And
the game would have to be redesigned at a fundamental level.
Yeah, and it's like some people have said, well, why can't we just have 2 full patches? One for normals and one for ranked. But the reality is like players
want to see pros playing the game they're playing, right?
Yeah.
If you're playing a different game, then they're going to be wanting a second esport. They're going to be can I see the competitive version of the game I'm playing? And
no. I am waiting for the day that happens to some game, where they actually have 2 different patches of the same game. I want to see someone try it to see actually how people react to it.
You know the first game that is going to happen to? Pokemon.
I thought you were going to say Marathon.
What?
No, Pokemon, and I'll tell you why. It's because of
the card.
Champions.
You mean the card game?
No, the video game.
Which Pokemon? Isn't there like 800 of them?
So competitive play is.
You mean the MOBA one?
MOBA? No.
What Pokemon are we talking
The
about?
mainline Pokemon. The Battler. The digital mainline video game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Red, blue,
Okay,
gold.
all right, those. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So every competitive Pokemon is always played with the mainline game. And there have been times where Pokemon has had to ban certain Pokemon because of the mechanics they've put into the mainline game. Well, they're coming out with a new game called Pokemon Champions, which will not only be on the Switch, but it'll also be on mobile. But you're able to bring all of your Pokemon into Champions through Pokemon Home from the mainline games. Not only from the mainline games, but also Go. So the thought behind this is that the mainline games will actually have different versions of the Pokemon that when you transfer them to champions,
Balanced out.
balanced out differently, and that the competitive.
You think it would just be number balances or like actual ability changes?
It could actually be like passive abilities. Like passive abilities do this in champions rather than in the mainline game. And so that's one version where it's like you could technically play competitive Pokemon in still the mainline game, but the esports of Pokemon is going to be champions.
Yeah.
And so Pokemon will actually be balanced differently for story version of the game versus
I think
the
that's totally
competitive.
fine. I think that's totally fine. Like, because like right now, League of Legends has a lot of weirdness where it's like, depending on what elo you're playing, the game is not balanced for you.
Yeah.
It's balanced. They typically, and it's actually got, I do applaud Riot for this. Around 4 years ago, they actually added different bars on there to what skill level they're aiming the balance for, which is really nice. So it's like, oh, we changed the AD growth on Graves from 1 to 2, and he has 68 starting AD. So from 68 to 70 for the second level. And a normal player were like, what the heck does that And it's like, actually it clears the jungle. A pro can now clear the jungle 5 seconds faster, which means he can get to this objective 3 seconds quicker. And because of all these different break times against these other popular junglers, he will always be there first.
Wow.
You know, and so it's like, but to anyone that even someone who's like grandmaster, there's only like 1,000 grandmaster. It doesn't even matter for them because they can't even do what a pro can do. And so like they'll actually have in there, they'll make buffs and nerfs targeted at pros, and they actually tell you like where these, or sometimes they'll just do like, we're actually nerfing this for all levels of play. And this is why. And I like that they actually at least have an explainer in there on why a certain nerf or certain buff.
Explainers are good.
Yeah. So it's like, that's pretty cool. But at some points, I'm just like, dude, why can't we just have a whole different version of the game? But the problem is if you balance it purely for the pro side, normal players. See, the argument, I still don't understand how Riot does this. The argument is normal players will not like it. But don't normal players won't even notice? That's always been my thing. How is the normal player going to even know if it's balanced towards pro play only?
You know what
I don't know.
I think we should make balance on esports versus normal a discussion topic.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm
How
getting hungry.
we would go about it?
We'd have
That's
to pick a
great.
game that we're all three familiar with, probably TFT.
Yeah.
Because I have some
would have to-
changes I would do to
I'll
TFT.
have to grind TFT a little bit over the next 2 weeks. Then,
I'll have to
'cause-
beat Blueprints actually, and then go back to my
Right, that's the
before
thing.
Golden
I
Ox
wanna
gets
play,
nerfed.
and that's like right now. Like I'm playing Dragonwilds, right? But it's just like the Monster Hunter is still calling me.
Yeah.
Right now.
You
You
Yeah.
can't play it because NVIDIA constantly wants to crash it out. So
Well, they didn't release a hotfix today, so
yeah, it still breaks it.
damn.
Number one upvoted thing with like 800 upvotes on Reddit was nope, still causes my 4080 to crash or like whatever.
Rip.
Wow.
I don't know if 3080s, if 30 series are like having the
I
same
didn't have any
issues.
issues yesterday. So.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. It's been a fabulous time.
It sure has. Happy NFL Draft Week.
Yay.